It's a 5-star finish to the 2018 season of Speedway Showcase. Tonight we travel to the Genesee Speedway, where not only is the fair in town, so are 2 big touring series ready to showcase the intense racing of their crate-powered divisions. So go fast and turn right, because we've got a great one at Genesee on Speedway Showcase here tonight. You couldn't ask for any better weather here in midsummer as we are at the Genesee Speedway for our final show of 2018. Hello everyone, welcome to Speedway Showcase. My name is Rich Fleck, and over the next 60 minutes, we take you through 5 divisions racing at the Genesee County Fair here in Batavia. Alongside me is Doug Elkins, and Doug, most of the time we break down 1 division, maybe 2. Tonight we've got a whole slew running on the card, and it's a big night for them.
I love this show here. I mean, look behind me. I mean, this is a county fairgrounds. This has been going on for generations in America, racing at a county fair, so we're excited to do this. And it's a nice mix, like Rich said. You've got the local classes that compete here every week, plus you have 2 traveling series that are here today. Grit Sportsman, they run all over the Northeast, crate-powered cars there. And, of course, the Rush Late Models. Big tour event for them, so we got best of both worlds here tonight, Rich.
Both of them running their 2nd tour race of the season here at the 1/3 mile. But this is a tricky racetrack, and tonight it's being thrown a curveball. For more on what the Speedway has to offer, let's go down trackside, and the 3rd man of our team, Cowboy Paul Small.
Thanks, guys. Earlier today, this track was dry, dusty, and slick from top to bottom because there hasn't been a lot of rain in this area. Now the drivers for our featured events tonight have been thrown a little bit of a curveball. The track has been completely reworked. It's been disked over, it's been watered, it's being repacked before we see the Crate Sportsman and Crate Late Models do their thing tonight. That's going to make for a challenge. But this racetrack already has a ton of challenges. If you don't believe me, listen to what the drivers told us earlier.
Genesee's tough. It's not like a lot of the other tracks we go to. It's kind of narrow. I'm pretty fast, you know, so passing's a premium. You know, it's good to get started up front. It's been hit or miss lately on whether the top or the bottom is better, so that's been tough, but definitely getting to the front fast.
Jones, definitely the track is a lot different than it was last year. It's definitely a lot faster, a lot more equal racing lines, so it's a little bit tougher to pass. We get strung out a little bit.
You really, there's usually a top and there's not much of a lip there, so you know, it's hard to find it and stay on it. So that's one of the toughest challenges. When you came here before, it was on the bottom, dry, slick.
The biggest one for me is getting around the bottom side of the racetrack. The place gets top dominant, a lot of momentum, and if you can roll through the center or the top of the race or the bottom of the racetrack, it seems to be you can make moves and make ground, especially on restarts and stuff.
Probably not hitting the outside wall, and probably avoiding the inside tires too.
I think Austin's got the right idea there.
I think he does. Don't go too high, don't go too low, stay right in the middle.
This is manufacturer's night for the Rush Late Models as a number of drivers are down trackside figuring out what cool prizes they're going to walk away with.
Nice deal.
There's what the winners of each of the features are going to take home in cash prizes. 360 Late Models have already run. The next division up here after the track grooming is the Sportsman. Pulsars with Paul.
Zach George draws the pole for tonight's Grit Sportsman Series 30 lapper. Zach, is this a good place to be?
Yeah, in my opinion. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Time to use my head, do what I do.
They've remanicured the track. Do you think the top is going to be faster than it was in the heat races?
I'm not too sure. In my opinion, I think not, because the water's just going to slide down towards the bottom. So it's a 50-50 shot.
Zach George is going from P1, and he hopes to finish in the same spot.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, already 1 division in the record books. 360 Late Models tried to get underway right on the start, but Carl Shetler would get the worst of it after contact with Tommy Kemp.
Yeah, he really ripped up the front end on that. 360 Late Models, these are not crate engines like in the other cars. These are professionally built engines. These were the standard in the area up till just recently.
And these drivers love having that power at their right foot. But it would be Tommy Kemp getting out on the 2nd restart of the race, and Tom Baker would chase after him. A couple drivers start moving up, like the standard of the division, Dave Du Bois, but this would not be the night for the Outlaw as Tommy Kemp, Tom Baker, and watch these two drivers behind him start moving up on a very slick racetrack at this point in the night.
Yeah, track hadn't been regroomed yet. It's going to get a little bit better as the night went on, but this was some pretty intense racing here. Look at this move down on the inside.
Brian Kotarski in his first start of the season, the veteran of the division. Look at him drive down to the bottom. Nobody does that here at Genesee. Drive off the inside and find bite, but that's just what the driver, the number 29, would do. He would get out in front, and then the Z-Man, John Zimmerman, trying to chase after him and almost got him.
I thought he was going to make the move right there. You could see the darker clay on the inside, finding all the bite they could here late in the race.
And again, first start of the year for Kotarski, becomes the first driver not named Dave Du Bois to pick up a win in the 360 late model division. He gets the victory, and he talked to Paul after.
We only come out to win. It's checkers or wreckers. Somebody forgot to put that on the car today, but we're here to win and only win.
Tell me about the run today.
It was our first run of the season, and I love the bottom here. And this is the first time in probably a year where I've been able to drive the bottom and the top not be dominant.
The Grit Sportsman have rolled off and will be going green for their 30-lap feature when we come back, so don't go anywhere. You are watching Speedway Showcase from the Genesee Speedway. Get ready, Genesee, for something you may have never seen around these parts before. It's the first ever Gladiator this Thursday, August 16th, featuring the invasion of the Big Block Modifieds. Come see the Beast of the Northeast look to conquer the big prize on the 1/3 mile battleground. Sportsman, Streets, and Minis are also part of this fun-filled card. So visit Genesee-Speedway.com for more information. The green flag drops at 7 p.m., so don't miss out on your one chance to see Modified in Batavia.
No matter what your automotive need is, L&L Transmission has got you covered. Family owned and operated for 40 years now, L&L provides complete automotive repair with most transmissions and transfer cases in stock. Located in Batavia, L&L Towing offers 24-hour service to get you out of a jam and get you on the road again. For vehicles big and small, they can handle it all. Remember, the next time your car is off track, L&L Transmission has got your back.
A Verdi is your on-site storage solution throughout New York State. We provide a variety of on-site storage and office products for commercial, residential, and industrial customers. We stock an array of units for rent, lease, or purchase, and provide prompt on-site delivery. We're family-owned and been in business for over 35 years. A Verdi Storage Containers. Storage and office solutions delivered.
Live music, cold beer, and tasty grub. It's all at Nashville's. Nashville's is Rochester's hottest country venue located in Henrietta. With top area bands, an all-new music video screen, ladies' nights, special themes, great drink specials, and free dance lessons, there's no reason to miss out on the fun. So come on in and take the great tastes of Nashville's with you with Nashville's Catering. Race on into Nashville's today. Not your average tavern.
The Grit Sportsmen are ready to go green with the Wheel Deal 30. And we got 24 starters ready to go. That means that a number of drivers are already loaded up for the night.
Yeah, this was a midweek special here at the fair, and a lot of teams came hoping to make it into this Grit Sportsman Series race. This is a traveling series, so it's where the best of all the home tracks show up and try to make the show.
Top 12 drivers redrew for their starting positions. We already saw Zach George talking with him earlier on the pole, but James Henry to the outside has 2 starts at Genesee this year, two tour wins.
And he has probably, outside of maybe Ray Bliss, about the most experience of any of the drivers in the field. He was running these things back in the 90s and winning races then.
Now we talked about Zach George. His dad, Scott, actually is piloting the backup ride for them here tonight, but he's got a number of laps in both Sportsman and Modifieds around the area, including at Genesee. Go back through the field, Jim Harbison was able to win the Consi. Last 2 drivers in, John Venuto and Mike Denning. Riding on board with Zach Sam, along with Kyle Inman, the points leader here at Genesee, as we go green for the Grit.
And should get some good views from them, both of them in the field, in the mix. Should be fun. Going to lead early, though, Zachary George on the inside, but here comes James Henry right back at him.
He makes that crossover maneuver, looks to the inside as they rumble into turn number 3 for the first time, and contact made as Henry goes up into George, and Inman goes over the banking as well.
He's in a tough situation here. He doesn't want to stop because if he brings out the yellow, he'll go all the way to the rear. He gets it going, but I think it only made him pick up about 3 or 4 more spots.
Well, he probably knows the yellow's going to come out. Again, that's the way normally for the Sportsman. But once you get a lap completed, green flags can run right off. Here's some more
bumper
content.
tagging. That's Leslie in the number 45 in the 15, excuse me, right there. He got a little bump from behind. I don't know if that move's going to work or not, and the yellow is out.
Mike Denning has come around, one of the locals, driver of car number 87, and he's in his second year of Sportsman competition. He barely got his way into the show.
Yeah, look at the car.
Yeah, after some serious contact in the heats. Let's take a look at that back earlier on tonight. He spun around on his own.
Yeah, there he is sideways, and bam, there comes Sarah Johnson, and then she ends up over on her side. And you can see where Denning is. He's in the best place he can be out of the 3.
And actually, Stacy Jackson in this white and black car got the worst of it. Man, that's a hard hit for Stacy Jackson.
Sarah Johnson, daughter of the promoter, still getting her feet wet in Sportsman competition. And she was okay, and that was the good news, but the car was going to need some work.
Yeah, Sarah came into the night 4th in points with 1 win. But as you said, we'll have to sit out here in this feature. Zach Sam starts right in the middle of that in 13th as we come back to green. Look at Henry from the outside. Looks like he might take the lead away.
Does he have room to get low? No, he doesn't need to. Just drives around and takes the lead. Look at the distance. Already he puts between himself and Zach George.
Anthony Moscato has now put himself up into the 3rd spot. Right behind him, though, Jonathan Reed, Adam Leslie, Dave Conant, all right there. It is a hornet's nest off of turn number 4.
Good track conditions here. You saw what we saw in that clip earlier. Got to take your hats off to the Speedway crew for doing this. They did a nice job. It took some time to do it, but boy, they've got a beautiful racetrack right now as we watch the battle for 2nd place.
Yeah, 2nd. Down on the bottom goes George, and he has Moscato slide up right in front of Leslie. Look at Cadillac Conant down to the inside, and he's a windshield wiper right in front of the veteran Ray Bliss, who now ventures up to the outside of the racetrack in the 27Z. Good field of cars here. You see right behind that Ricky Newton, the 11N, another veteran of the Sportsman Series. Doesn't run Genesee weekly, but when he does, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and this was a last-minute decision for him even to make this show tonight. You know how it is. Sometimes you get a little ahead on your shop work, and well, let's go. It's a good-paying show, and that's why Ricky Newton is here tonight.
As they rumble down the back straightaway, Dave DiPietro in the 68 trying to make a move to the inside of the young Robbie Johnston. Dalton Martin up there as well in the 81T. He's a rookie with Sportsman. Has driven just about everything, though, here in Batavia.
And you saw Tony Pagrazio. That was the 41 car. Went way to the outside. Still looking for a little bite here as we're still pretty early on in this 30-lap feature.
And as you said, Doug, with the re-groomed track conditions right now, very locked out for these Sportsmen. They're not getting off the throttle much, and really they're not getting out of their middle groove. It hasn't been burned off yet.
And that's interesting, too, because as we watch here now, we got a battle going on for the lead as Zach George takes a peek to the inside of James Henry. The other thing that makes this impressive, we got a yellow out right now. Oh, something happened over in turn 2, got a couple cars together. Ooh.
Looks like Brad Rouse and Cameron Tuttle are hooked together. You see the right front of Tuttle up on the backside of Rouse's 18R, the Canadian, with a problem. Let's see what we can see from here on board Zach Sam. And
maybe that's the problem.
Gets into Tony Pangrazio, spins around Pangrazio, and Colin and get a piece of this.
Oh,
yeah, there's Rouse, and then Tuttle jackknifes him underneath. That's not going to be good for Rouse, who always is a favorite anytime he rolls into a track. Looks like our crew is down trackside.
Guys, we're down here on the outside of turns 1 and 2, and you can see what the safety crews are trying to do here. The cars of Brad Rouse and Cam Tuttle are locked together, and they're trying to physically pull them apart so they can tow both of these cars back to the pit area. Sometimes it takes a little bit of human elbow grease. When these cars get their Nerf bars and shock towers hooked, they just got the 2 cars separated. Looks like some damage on the right side of the Tuttle machine. Can't see the left rear from here on the Brad Rouse number 18.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Even though they got those cars apart, probably done for the night. But there's plenty of feature left, so don't go anywhere.
We all want the best deal, and Auctions International is where you can find thousands of them. Auctions International is New York State's largest volume online auction provider for government and municipal agencies. Over 1,200 consigners liquidating cars, pickup trucks, heavy equipment, tools, seizures, real estate, and much more in surplus. Online auctions are closing 7 days a week, so hurry to auctionsinternational.com to browse and bid today. Auctions International, professional auctioneers providing big savings to you.
What are you doing Saturday night? We'll go into the Genesee Speedway, of course. Conveniently located at the Genesee County Fairgrounds in Batavia, Genesee Speedway features 6 action-packed classes battling it out on the tight 1/3 mile. Whether it's the late models, Sportsman, street stocks, or mini stocks, racing is must-see. If you haven't been to Genesee, you are missing out on the wide-swept improvements to the grounds. So plan your next trip to Batavia before the checkered flag falls on the season.
The Empire Super Sprints are back at the Port. Head out to Weedsport Speedway on August 12th for the ESS Legends Reunion, powered by Pit Stop Convenience Stores. The sprints will be joined by the Sportsman Shootout Series as they continue their quest for total point domination. Make sure to check out our one-of-a-kind retail experience, the Gearbox, for winning apparel and gifts. Bring out the whole family. There is something for everyone at Weedsport Speedway. Kids 10 and under are free. See you at the Port on August 12th.
Everything we do is in search of more go. We go, so it goes, so you can go.
It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to find a company that stands behind their product like ENV Energy. A family business for over 100 years, we always go the extra mile. ENV Energy, done local, done right.
It's hard to stop a train.
Back here in Batavia, where 7 laps are complete of the 30-lap Sportsman feature. James Henry took the lead on a lap 1 restart, but Zach George was starting to close in right before the caution came out.
Yeah, he's got to be concerned about that. You got a nose underneath a couple of times, and you really, at this point of the race early on, the drivers aren't really in a rhythm yet. We've had a couple of cautions that have slowed things down. They need a nice long green flag run.
Oh, Anthony Moscato down in the water, and that is going to stack him up big time. Dave Conant and Jonathan Reed. And you got 3 drivers in the top 8 there that are going to go to the back as the moisture that they had put into the racetrack kind of puddled down there. They've got the Ute tires in place, but Moscato just got that left front hook. Look at the 94.
Oh, look at it, splashed right in there, yep.
And you know what, Doug? Even if he didn't come around, they probably would have had to throw the caution because of the water getting on the racetrack.
Yeah, you can see the splash right there.
He got the tire, too.
Yeah, and that puddle's still down there, too. So that's just one of those deals. You go into a restart, the tires aren't warm yet. You set the car just a little early, it pulls down, and around she goes.
Now, this grit race is a challenge. Earlier tonight, we asked the drivers about the challenge and the difference of tour races in our question of the hour.
It's definitely a little bit different. We get a lot more cars here than our normal Saturday night show, so it's a lot more competition from different tracks and a little more pressure to do good being the hometown guy.
Probably the biggest difference is, like, we run weekly at Ransomville, and it's a handicap show versus the series races are all time trials. So the fast cars, if you're fast, you're going to start up front. You're going to start up front in the heat, makes it a little easier versus a weekly show where you're handicapped starting dead last every week.
It's always tough when, you got everybody out-of-towners rolling in. There's 5 or 6 or 7 more fast guys that show up that are, can easily win. So you just got to go out. Luckily, it's qualifying. You got to go out there and be fast off the trailer right from the get-go. Get a good draw on the feature and, just hang on. Luckily, hopefully we can get started up front and just keep it there.
Very rushed, and we laugh about that, but everything happens a lot faster because there's so much stuff going on. Time trials, dashes, redraws. We're normal nights, a little slower pace, but we try to keep our routine the same so it doesn't screw everybody up and we don't forget something or miss something.
Of course, Jason Jenko says that a tour race is very rushed.
Of course, with a rush tour, good one there. But he's right. You show up for a weekly show, you run your hot laps. It doesn't matter how fast you are. You're in the show no matter what. This, you got to come out, be fast right away. Time trials determine everything.
And here at Genesee, we don't even run hot laps on a weekly Saturday night show.
Oh, no, I didn't know
All right,
that.
They're going to go single file for the restart, which is probably not a bad move. Here at Genesee, sportsmen do great, but on double file restarts, it is often problematic. Here's Dalton Martin, Robbie Johnson, a couple of newcomers to the division in the last couple of years, side by side back about 7th or 8th place. as Old Henry has the field under his command.
Yeah, Robbie Johnston's been running out there at Ransomville, young teenager, a good young talent. Dad's been a racer himself, so they know this game pretty well. That's the margin from first to second, but now we're watching this right here as this is for third place.
Adam Leslie, the Canadian, up on the top of the racetrack. Ray Bliss, Ricky Newton right behind him. There's that sixth place battle again. Dalton Martin throws his name in the mix. Dave DiPietro looks down to the inside. It might go 3 wide off of turn number 2.
Boy, Johnston just went a little wide that time, kind of opened up the door right there in the 81. Like you said, trying to find his way to get in there. That's Dalton Martin, 3 wide for a moment coming off the corner and a little contact.
And Dalton Martin's had a decent start to his Sportsman career, but he struggled in the tour races. A little bit of contact there with Johnston. Johnston goes up the racetrack and will allow the 81D of Martin to scoot on by and a little more.
Look out, Dave. He's got a problem there. Almost went off the racetrack.
How about that for Austin Soucy in the 81? Driver second in points here at Genesee. Drives underneath both DiPietro and Scott George. Talk about points for Genesee. Tonight is just a show-up points race, but there is good money on the line.
Yeah, and what they mean by the show-up points, you want your regulars to come to the tour races, but you don't want it to be a regular point race because there's a lot of guys who aren't there. So everybody who shows up gets the same amount of points, and that way they can just go out, race, and have fun.
And that's good news for Kyle Inman. He's in 11th
That's
right
true.
now. We're on board with him. He's battling with John Venuto. This is not going well for him after going to the back, but Doug, he is climbing his way back.
I was just going to say, yeah, he's back to 11th, and he was almost last just a little while ago, and we're almost halfway through, so the math is almost in his favor here. He's just got to not think too much about where he is. Every single corner, every driver, one at a time. Next thing you know, you'll be fine.
But Doug, you know the situation. Every car you move, or every position you move up,
That's true.
It's almost doubly harder to pass the next person.
Yeah, if you were to look at lap times, for example, what these top 3 are running, we see here second and third, Zach George and Adam Leslie. I guarantee they're 3, 4, 5 tenths faster than the guys running 15th and 20th. So, like you said, every car you pass, the next one gets a little tougher.
And you know what else is tough right now is this track is very locked down. Leslie probably quicker than Zach George, but unlike what, that's a wicked push off of turn number 2.
What if he hit some of the water?
You got to wonder if he did that. I think you're right on that. And earlier in the night, the bottom groove, especially off of turn number 4, you were able to make some passes. But track's very fast. We've got a caution as Austin Fugel out of Livonia has spun around in turn number 2 and puts us under yellow once again. Well, the next feature we're going to see up is the Rush Late Models, and the current points leader of the weekly division here is down with Paul.
JJ Mazer, I'd say your odds are pretty good, even though you haven't won. You're starting up front.
Yeah, I think the track definitely plays in our favor tonight. We were really quick in the heat race there, and I see they just watered it again out before our feature. I think we should be all right for the feature.
Now, what's the key from starting up front? Is it staying out of trouble, trying to run away and hide?
I think just conserve your equipment in the beginning there, and we're starting up front, so we shouldn't have to worry about much, really. Just use your head out there, and like I said, it's 30 laps. It's a lot of race.
JJ Mazer would like to finally win one here this year. Maybe tonight's the night.
Isn't that always the trick of it, Doug? You're the points leader about halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Yet both Kyle Inman here in the Sportsman, there he is right now, and J.J. Mazer in the late models. They're defending champions, their current points leader. They don't have the win in Genesee.
That shows, there's 2 ways to look at that. I mean, you can sit there and go, well, he's consistent. That's how you win championships. But every driver wants to win. And when it's this time of the year and you haven't won yet, it's starting to bug you a little.
And again, a couple of these drivers have won at other places, but not in front of their home crowd. There is just 12 laps left to go. Adam Leslie trying to do something here on this restart. Goes up high, crosses down to the inside. If he can get around Zach George, maybe he's got something for James Henry, but you don't know until you're in position number 2.
Well, and I'm looking at Adam Leslie right now, too, going, I think he might be getting slowed up a little bit by second place. So, and here he goes, going to take a look to the inside of George.
And he's got to shut the brakes down just a little bit too early. George runs him clean and holds on to spot number 2. This is a great run going. For Zach George, comes into the night 13th in track points, other than last week when he finished in 6th. No other finishes inside of the top 10.
And there's a nice move by Leslie. You could see George went a little wide that time in turn 2, but I don't know, is that bottom groove coming in yet? It doesn't seem like it is, Rich.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for Leslie. His 3rd start here this season. Both other finishes were inside of the top 10 with heat wins. He won his heat again earlier tonight. Trying to keep it going. Zeke the streak, though. Ray Bliss is right on him. The Bliss logging 27Z, as you talked about, Doug. There are no more veteran drivers in the Sportsman division around here than Zeke.
Yeah, modified driver back in the 90s. I remember won a TV race at Weedsport,
that was
blowing
wild.
up as he came across the checkered flag. I mean, you name it, this guy has done it. And they're doing it old school. They got an old bus they converted into a hauler like we used to see back in the 80s and 90s. It's just fun to watch them race.
And probably no more laid back in the pit area.
That's
than
true.
Ray Bliss. Just, we're here, we're racing. 5th place. Got a good battle going. Ricky Newton moving his way up through. In the 11N, Robbie Johnston right there. Here we go, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th again. Laps are running out, Doug. Only 6 more left to go. You keep seeing them backfire out, too, going into the corner, kind of cleaning out the dead fuel.
Yeah, and one thing you're not seeing in this shot right here is leader James Henry. He's pulled out to his biggest lead so far. Leslie, clearly faster right now than Zach George. Just cannot get that inside move to work. He can get even with him going in, but obviously running the top, George can jump on the throttle a little quicker and keeps the spot.
And this is why we have 5, 6 different winners at Genesee already this season, and none of them are in the top 3 in points, because you can kind of, these cars are equal, they're crate powered, and somebody can get out front, and it's tough to make passes and inroads when you're in 2nd and 3rd. So a lot of guys come in and they go, man, I got a shot to win, and they really like that. Right now, though, James Henry looking to go 3 for 3. He's coming around to 3 to go, and I think Zach George is his best friend.
I think he is right now. He's almost being the blocker car right now. And it's not Zach's responsibility to pull over and let Adam Leslie by. He's running a line as if you can get me. There's the bottom. Go take it. But Leslie just can't get the run.
He hasn't chopped him off whatsoever. And,
no, he hasn't.
You know, and Zach, this would be a career best finish for him here at Genesee as he stays on the throttle.
That's the closest he came to making that work right there, but an intense battle for 2nd spot.
With just 2 laps left to go, James Henry now out to a 2-second advantage. Again, he won the Grit Sportsman race here back on June 7th. He won a BEI Lightning Series race here on June 23rd. And now here on Fair Night, he is 1 lap away from picking up his 3rd win in as many tries here in 2018.
Running a nice line out of 2. Who knows if he even saw the white flag? He might be in the zone right now, but he'll notice the checkered when he comes this time through 3 and 4.
Off of turn number 4, the driver out of Niagara Falls is going to pick up the win.
Nice job.
Here tonight in the Wheel Deal 30. And George will hold on for 2nd.
Adam Leslie 3rd. Ray Bliss, you just got to saw him in some of the shots as we watch that battle for 2nd. He'll have to settle for 4th on this night.
You think Henry's pumped up? He does a full other. Oh, hang on a second. We got Dave Kona and Chase Madison around. They're not able to make it to the finish, but we are done with this 30-lap event, and we'll hear from the winner of the Grit Sportsman feature when we come back.
No matter what your automotive need is, L&L Transmission has got you covered. Family owned and operated for 40 years now, L&L provides complete automotive repair with most transmissions and transfer cases in stock. Located in Batavia, L&L Towing offers 24-hour service to get you out of a jam and get you on the road again. For vehicles big and small, they can handle it all. Remember, the next time your car is off track, L&L Transmission has got your back.
Get ready, Genesee, for something you may have never seen around these parts before. It's the first ever Gladiator this Thursday, August 16th, featuring the invasion of the Big Block Modifieds. Come see the Beast of the Northeast look to conquer the big prize on the 1/3 mile battleground. Sportsman, Streets, and Minis are also part of this fun-filled card. So visit Genesee-Speedway.com for more information. The green flag drops at 7 p.m., so don't miss out on your one chance to see Modified in Batavia.
Live music, cold beer, and tasty grub. It's all at Nashville's. Nashville's is Rochester's hottest country venue located in Henrietta. With top area bands, an all-new music video screen, ladies' nights, special themes, great drink specials, and free dance lessons, there's no reason to miss out on the fun. So come on in and take the great tastes of Nashville's with you with Nashville's Catering. Race on into Nashville's today. Not your average tavern.
It's been 60 years in the making in Niagara County. Competition, excitement, teamwork, and family-friendly fun await you at Ransomville Speedway, where Friday nights in Western New York takes on a whole different meaning. Fans and spectators alike have come out to see hairpin turns and heart-pounding action at the #1 dirt track on the Niagara frontier, Ransomville Speedway. Come out and witness history in the making at Ransomville Speedway off Braley Road, or get your tickets at ransomvillespeedway.com today.
James Henry is the winner of the Wheel Deal 30 for the Grit Sportsman here at Genesee, sweeping the series races at the 1/3 mile. Let's go down to Paul and hear from him.
It's his third win here at Genesee Speedway this season. James Henry, congratulations. Looked like the car was actually getting better the longer the race went.
Yeah, the racetrack was widening out there towards the end, about middle way through. First few laps, it was pretty greasy, and it was just trying to keep the car straight, and you know, track positions, everything.
And it looked like having the outside on those restarts when it was double file was a key for you.
Yeah, the outsides were definitely the key because I was able to get in on the top down in one and carry my momentum through, not really lifting, and hopefully coming out ahead, and it worked. So,
congratulations, nice run tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's James Henry, your winner of the Grit Sportsman Series race here at Genesee.
A dominating performance for O. Henry, but he almost lost the lead on the initial start. Well, he did. Zach George got out in front. Caution would come out a lap later. And how about the contact? Kyle Inman, who would have been a factor, starting right up there in the top 5 with Anthony Moscato. On the ensuing restart, Henry figured something out and went around the outside of Zach George.
Yeah, he didn't leave the open inside open that time, and once he got out front, he was just racing the track. Tough incident here with Anthony Moscato.
Yeah, he clips the water, probably would have hit the tire anyways. Dave Conant, Jonathan Reed were in the top 10, get sent to the back. How about the battle for second? This was a good one. We thought really Adam Leslie had it with 2 to go, but Zach George held strong on the outside.
And how about our winner here? All he had to do was race the track for pretty much most of the race, hit your marks, do what you're supposed to do, get a win.
He got the victory. Zach George got second. He's down with Paul.
Zach George started P1, finishes P2 in the feature event tonight. Looks like Henry just got a run on you there on those couple of restarts.
Yeah, he did. It was a good race. Best finish I've had this year, last year. 3 years of hard luck. Feels good for it all to pay off. Even though it's not a win, and in my book, it's a good win.
Adam Leslie was giving you fits there in the last 10 laps.
Yeah, I felt him. I saw him coming, and I was like, not today. I just blocked as best as I could and ran away with what I got.
That's Zach George, your second place finisher here tonight.
You know, he says he blocked. He really didn't block him, but he wasn't going to let him by. So
run your line. Don't let the door open. That's all.
That's a big finish for him. Like we said,
yeah, it is.
Weekly
Nice
competition here. He only has one finish better than 10th. So for him to come home in second in this tour race is a big deal. There's a lot of veterans right behind him, 3rd to 5th.
Yeah, and a lot of young guys as well. Austin Soucy in there. How about Kyle Inman? Hey, he worked his way back up to 11. I know he's not going to be happy with that, but I guarantee you he was having some fun out there working his way to the front.
And you see that group from about 16th on back that were all involved in incidents. Anthony Moscato, Dave Conant, Chase Madison. In fact, they got crashed up right there at the end. And then you see the rest of the field. Some of these drivers not able to finish, like our onboard car, Zach Sam, Brad Rouse, Cam Tuttle got hooked together. 5 cautions in this event, but still 18 drivers able to finish on the lead lap. A great race for the Sportsman, and another good performance for Adam Leslie. He finished in 3rd.
Adam Leslie picks up 3rd place finish in tonight's feature event. You were trying all sorts of stuff to get by Zach there at the end.
Yeah, no, I was trying everything I could. There wasn't enough on the bottom to make it work. That's the problem. Like, I kept hitting water in 1 and 2, and it kept sliding up. And every time I get a run, I would screw it up. But no, the car was good. I was happy. I really wish they would have left the track after the heats, but it is what it is now. You know what I mean? I'm happy the car's in one piece. We can go home and race another day.
It's Adam Leslie, finished 3rd tonight.
Yeah, like he said, a good finish, but he knows he had a little bit more in him. The late models are 4 wide here on Manufacturers Night. Great crowd, best crowd we've had all season here tonight in Batavia. Fair night's always a big deal.
That's the thing. You know, you come earlier in the day, you bring the kids, you ride some rides, you have some fried dough, some good stuff like that, and then you finish the night off with a race at the racetrack. What more could you want?
Toll field of 24 cars, 25 laps for this $1,500 to win show. And, we've got the opportunity. Let's go back and look at some of the other features that took place here tonight. These are the street stocks. And Kurt Stebbins, who we're going to see in this late model feature, pulling double duty, got out in front of Josh Pangrazio, a former late model competitor. But on a lap 11 restart, Pangrazio had something for him on the inside.
Yeah, and this is one of the moves we hadn't seen anybody be able to make up until this point. But you can see he could stay with him there and put the nose out in front of the backstretch.
Just driving down to the inside does Josh Pangrazio. And he hasn't had the regular success here this season, but he was able to win on opening night. He's good, but you see him finally get the pass off the top, and then a good battle for third. Pat Powers, we call him part-time Pat because he runs once in a while. Glenn Rittner from down Jasper, and Dennis Cummings, who comes into the night as the division points leader, running in that battle for third. But things wouldn't work out well for Cummings, as last year's champion Byron Quick got into him, coming to 1 to go.
Tough break for him there. Had set him around. Wasn't much contact, but sometimes little is all you need. And then
Jackson piles in.
What a bad break for him, too.
So with 1 lap left to go, you see the green and white out together. Josh Pangrazio had to hold off Stebbins on one final restart. See how nicely his car could drive off that left rear.
Yeah, and you could see Stebbins just drove it in there as hard as he could to try to make it work, and might have cost him some ground there.
So Pangrazio able to pick up his 2nd win of the year here in this mini-series special for the Street Stocks.
I felt we were better than him, but we're just pacing there for 10 laps, just following him, and I knew they were going to have a restart there, and I was able to rotate on the bottom and get by him, and from there on out, I didn't see anybody, so we must have been pretty good tonight.
After that, it was the mini stocks, the 4-cylinder division that always puts on a good show. Had local runner Eric Weiss jump out in front of the field. Look at 2nd place, Lee Hicks.
Wow.
He's got the roof flap up.
I like that. I don't know if he's supposed to at this point. 2 divisions, by the way, that they run of these. The Bandits is for the younger division, same cars, and then the mini stocks, you graduate to that as you get a little older.
And
nice
the
deal.
Bandits took the night off to allow the mini stocks to be able to compete after a rainout here last week. Dante Mancuso, he's been running a lot of late model stuff, but tonight is focusing on the 4-cylinder car that he has been so good at. Driver the number 1, defending track champion, looks to the inside of Weiss, and you see how long it takes to set up a pass.
It does,
These 15-lap features, you don't have a lot of time, and there's Brad Shepard right behind him in the 1P. Brad has won about 4 championships in the last few years. He drives up into 2nd as Mancuso takes the lead away.
You mentioned Mancuso, a former, also does some late model stuff. Yep. That almost looks like a late model 4-cylinder right there. That's a slick looking car.
And with 2 laps left to go, Don Whiteside, who's got a very sharp number 8, little contact with a lap car, he would go around. He would set up a green, white, checkered, and on the final lap, Brad Shepard would close in on Dante Mancuso. But like you said, Doug, he didn't have anything for him, as Dante would come around to pick up his 3rd win of the season in his number 1.
It definitely feels really good. We've been there a couple weeks. We just couldn't finish it.
And you had your way up through the field. Some pretty tough battles.
Yeah, I knew Chris Leone and Eric Weiss, they're definitely dominant, fast guys, and I knew they were going to be there, and I knew the line they wanted. So if I got there and I was fast enough, I could be there.
Well, the track is not quite ready for the Rush late models. After going 4 wide, there's still some moisture that they want to work in turn number 1. So will they get that fixed? Let's sneak in another quick break here on Speedway Showcase. What are you doing Saturday night? We'll go into the Genesee Speedway, of course. Conveniently located at the Genesee County Fairgrounds in Batavia, Genesee Speedway features 6 action-packed classes battling it out on the tight 1/3 mile. Whether it's the late models, Sportsman, street stocks, or mini stocks, racing is must-see. If you haven't been to Genesee, you are missing out on the wide-swept improvements to the grounds. So plan your next trip to Batavia before the checkered flag falls on the season.
We all want the best deal, and Auctions International is where you can find thousands of them. Auctions International is New York State's largest volume online auction provider for government and municipal agencies. Over 1,200 consignors liquidating cars, pickup trucks, heavy equipment, tools, seizures, real estate, and much more in surplus. Online auctions are closing 7 days a week, so hurry to auctionsinternational.com to browse and bid today. Auctions International, professional auctioneers providing big savings to you.
Verdi is your on-site storage solution throughout New York State. We provide a variety of on-site storage and office products for commercial, residential, and industrial customers. We stock an array of units for rent, lease, or purchase, and provide prompt on-site delivery. We're family-owned and been in business for over 35 years. A Verdi Storage Containers. Storage and office solutions delivered.
Looks like we're ready to go green here at Genesee for the Rush Late Models. Here on Manufacturers Night, a number of drivers have already won nice prizes. Who's going to win the $1,500 top prize? They ran a dash for the top 6 spots. Jason Jenko won that one. Dougie's going to be tough to beat.
He really is, and that dash really just set the front 6 spots, like you said. That may be the key as we look at this down the road, because he is starting on the pole, and we were able to see that if you can get out front, get in that preferred groove, you can stay there.
We saw the Sportsman had a very lockdown racetrack, but by the end of it, the middle groove had been burned off a little bit. Street stocks, mini stocks, able to put a little bit more work into it. So has it widened out the track. Jason Jenko wants that view all night. Nobody in front of him as he comes to green, and a little bit of contact from Pangrazio on the 136. Kid Cool leans on him, but Jenko drives away off of 2.
And kind of surprising, since for a brief second or two his rear wheels were on the ground. 3 wide action at the middle of the pack. They work lap 1.
Yeah, that was the 3J of Jeremy Wonderling to the inside. Pork Chop Brian Knowles, the 85 of John Rivers. They're about 7th, 8th, and 9th as they work into turn number 1. Wonderling going to get shuffled out of the deck as Rivers drives up to 8th.
Love these late models. For those of you guys that don't know a lot about them, notice how that left rear tire kind of drives up underneath the car. These have some of the most sophisticated rear suspensions in the business.
Wonderling and Stebbins get hooked together. And how about the move by John Rivers going around both of them? And John Zilla's up to 6th.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't think too much when you're out there in the race car. Somebody gets in front of you like that, take the opportunity. He just picked up 2 spots by staying on his toes.
Now here comes Mr. Excitement in the 3J. Jeremy Wonderling looking to the inside. Wonderling, who finished 8th here in the first tour race earlier this season, had a bad break late in the race that forced him back. He looks to the inside of Kurt Stebbins. We already saw Stebbins finish 2nd.
I was just
in
going
the
to say,
street stock, similar looking race car. In that
and you figure he's brought a lot of the knowledge that he just had from that street stock race to maybe some last minute changes that they made on this late model setup, and it also gives him a little bit better idea of what the racetrack is compared to the rest of the guys.
And he slides down to the inside right now. And Wonderling's going to be able to clear him.
Yep. But look at Wonderling's car stand up like we talked about. These things are fun to watch. And there's a guy we met earlier, J.J. Mazer. That's the a green, yellow, green, white, and orange car right there. And we watched Jason Knowles. He's in 4th. John Waters in the 11 right behind him.
Yeah, John Waters is always pretty good when he comes in here to Genesee. He's won rush races here in the past. Almost had one earlier this season. 4th and 3rd, his 2 finishes here in Batavia this year.
Boy,
he locks up the left front.
And you saw how close he got to that utility tire down on the inside as well. So he is driving that thing as hard as he can. Oh, got a good run on the inside this time.
Racing Jason Knowles up on the outside of the racetrack.
Didn't get
the
it.
Jet able to drive around him on the outside and hold him off. Knowles with a little different program for this season, and boy, he's running right through the black of the racetrack.
Boy, and you figure, too, these guys know each other pretty well. They used to run on the old Atomic Power Racing Hour show that we used to do. They used to do the Go Nuclear Tour, so they've got hundreds of races against each other.
And
there's our
Waters,
leader.
defending Rush champion, as well as Jenko's into the lap traffic. You see the tear-off.
Didn't get it all the way off.
Tear off, yes.
And his hands are kind of busy right now, so he can't reach up and grab that.
Bill Kessler, a Pennsylvania driver in that yellow 09, is the car to his inside. Mike
nice
Green
move.
from Ridgeway, Ontario, is here for the first time. The Canadian competitor up on the outside of the racetrack just snuck his way into the field when a car was DQ'd for being light at the scales, and he will go a lap down to Jenko. Jenko picked up his first ever Rush Tour win here at Genesee just a month ago.
And you can see the way he's working traffic right now. His car's working high. It's working low. It's in the middle. There's 2nd and 3rd right there. The 136 is David Pangrazio. J.J. Mazer, we met him earlier. He's the number 13. And the traffic that our leader just went through might benefit Mazer here.
Pangrazio's got 2 wins here at Genesee this season, 3rd in points, as Waters goes to the inside finally and gets by. Jason Knowles off of turn number 2.
Ooh, look at the distance he's putting in between them right now. Wow, he's on his way.
And he started in 6th. He's up to 4th. But we are almost halfway. In fact, we're reaching that point now as the leader works down the back straightaway. Lap cars for 2nd and 3rd. That's Joe Long out of Conneaut, Ohio in car number 71 that Kid Cool's going to have to get on by. talked about J.J. Mazer earlier tonight. Third in the race, first in points though, but still chasing after that first win.
And right now you can see Pagrazio able to get through the lap traffic using the bottom. That's not what J.J. Mazer wants right now. He needs some slower cars. But again, these are the cars that aren't as quick. So the reason they're not as quick, maybe they can't hold the bottom.
How about this for sixth? Veteran here at the racetrack, multi-time champion in other divisions, John Rivers in car number 85, holding off the Wonderling brothers. That's Brady in the Z1, the 3J of Jeremy Wonderling. Doug, when we had a TV race here 2 years ago, it was the 3J beating the Z1 in that race. So we've seen these guys do battle on TV before. Brady comes into the night third in rush points. Well, Jeremy in the yellow 3J is the points leader. But, you know, Jason Jenko is second in tour points, and he is smoking this field right now. Look at how much his lead is as he's about to lap shake and bake TJ Downs.
Yeah, almost half a track. Talking about Rivers, we saw him in the 85 there for a moment. This is a guy who won a lot of races back in the 360 division, but since moving to the crates, he just hasn't been able to get back to victory lane. He's still trying to figure out the setup.
Yeah, he's been close. He's had good heat races, and you can see sixth right now isn't too bad. How about Jenko forcing his way through? And
hey, you're the leader. You can do that.
Gets by TJ Downs. The second place battle is now a three-car soiree off of turn number 4. Here comes John Waters in car number 11.
Yeah, it seems like just a couple of laps ago, Waters was just trying to get into fourth. Now he's making some moves. We got 3 cars, and we went to the outside of Mazer. They got a slower car, Chad Sainz, on the outside, but this is some good action here. Look at them trying to sneak through the middle there with the number 11, John Waters, but Mazer's not done with him yet. He retakes third position.
And we'll see what Waters can do. He's got one tour win just a few weeks ago at the Weedsport Speedway as he rim rides around the outside and now tries to slide underneath Chad Sainz, the lap car in the 15. Sainz is out of Orwell, Ohio here for the first time. Drives up the Speedway, and we've got Waters up into third.
Nice move by Waters as he's got another car in front of him to try to get to before he can get to Jenko. But Jenko, like we said, is already a half a track ahead of everybody right now, just running his own race.
Saw backstretch flagger Johnny Beach throwing the blue and yellow flag out there going, hey, everybody's got to move over because it is dense, heavy lap traffic. But how about this leader, Jason Jenko? Like you said, more than a half a track lead. Only 4 laps left to go as he comes around this time. Unbelievable.
Got order with those rocket chassis from down to the south, been in the division a dozen years, and that experience pay him off. Hey, that's Beamer Gazzardi right ahead of him. Not used to seeing him getting lapped, but both him and Johnson working hard to try to prevent that from happening.
And there is the first yellow. Chad Sainz over the banking in turn number 4 with 4 laps left to go. We are going to have quite the restart coming up. We'll have it on the other side of this break. You're watching Speedway Showcase.
Live music, cold beer, and tasty grub. It's all at Nashville's. Nashville's is Rochester's hottest country venue located in Henrietta. With top area bands, an all-new music video screen, ladies' nights, special themes, great drink specials, and free dance lessons, there's no reason to miss out on the fun. So come on in and take the great tastes of Nashville's with you with Nashville's Catering. Race on into Nashville's today. Not your average tavern.
Get ready, Genesee, for something you may have never seen around these parts before. It's the first ever Gladiator this Thursday, August 16th, featuring the invasion of the big block modifieds. Come see the beast of the Northeast look to conquer the big prize on the 1/3 mile battleground. Sportsman, Streets, and Minis are also part of this fun-filled card. So visit Genesee-Speedway.com for more information. The green flag drops at 7 p.m., so don't miss out on your one chance to see modifieds in Batavia.
No matter what your automotive need is, L&L Transmission has got you covered. Family owned and operated for 40 years now, L&L provides complete automotive repair with most transmissions and transfer cases in stock. Located in Batavia, L&L Towing offers 24-hour service to get you out of a jam and get you on the road again. For vehicles big and small, they can handle it all. Remember, the next time your car is off track, L&L Transmission has got your back.
Expertise and experience are what get Mike Emhoff Motorsports customers to victory lane. Join their winning team today. With a complete inventory of the best sprint car chassis, parts, and fuel, the only place to visit is Mike Emhoff Motorsports.
Just 4 laps left to go, but Jason Jenko's more than half a track lead has evaporated. David Pangrazio's to the inside now for this restart. Note that the third place car is on the outside of the second row. Whatever line the leader is in, that's where all the odd numbered cars go. It's very different with the Rush late models as we come back to green.
Yeah, most of the time, like for most late model series, they have what they call a Delaware start, where the leader has the front row all to himself. Pangrazio going to take a little bit of a pick there, but John Waters is up to the challenge. He goes to the outside. Does he have second? I think he does.
He does, and like we talked about just a few weeks ago, got his first Tour win of the year at Weedsport with a late race pass on a restart. So can he chase down Jason Jenko? These are 2 of the top Tour runners here with the Rush late models, and I got to feel like at least one more caution is going to give Waters a chance because Jenko is starting to drive away again.
You know, and I thought the same thing too, but then as we watched them come out of 2, I noticed our camera keeps zooming out and out as the margin continues to grow, so Jenko just might be in his own league tonight.
Jason Knowles is in 5th. Jeremy Wonderling has gotten up to the number 6 spot, who's going to get a top 5 finish here tonight with those 2 drivers as well. Meanwhile, for the podium, J.J. Mazer to the inside of Kid Cool. The 13 and the 136, 2 Genesee regulars, duking it out off of turn number 4 as the white flag has been shown to Jason Jenko.
There you see the margin. Jenko's just got to keep that thing straight, keep his head and his wits about him, get through 3 and 4 one more time to pick up a dominating win.
Jason Jenko going to win his 2nd Rush late model race here at Genesee this year.
Nice
his
job.
3rd win overall in Batavia. He scores the double checkered flags. Waters and at the line, Pangrazio for 3rd.
Mazer ends up in 4th. Jason Knowles in 5th. Jeremy Wonderling and Brady finishing in positions 6 and 7.
Boy, Jason Jenko was all smiles a month and a half ago when he picked up his first ever Tour win. Now he's on a roll as he sweeps the year here at Genesee for the Rush late models. We'll hear from him when we come back.
We all want the best deal, and Auctions International is where you can find thousands of them. Auctions International is New York State's largest volume online auction provider for government and municipal agencies. Over 1,200 consignors liquidating cars, pickup trucks, heavy equipment, tools, seizures, real estate, and much more in surplus. Online auctions are closing 7 days a week, so hurry to auctionsinternational.com to browse and bid today. Auctions International, professional auctioneers providing big savings to you.
Verdi is your on-site storage solution throughout New York State. We provide a variety of on-site storage and office products for commercial, residential, and industrial customers. We stock an array of units for rent, lease, or purchase, and provide prompt on-site delivery. We're family-owned and been in business for over 35 years. Verdi Storage Containers. Storage and office solutions delivered.
What are you doing Saturday night? We're going to the Genesee Speedway, of course. Conveniently located at the Genesee County Fairgrounds in Batavia, Genesee Speedway features 6 action-packed classes battling it out on the tight 1/3 mile. Whether it's the late models, sportsman, street stocks, or mini stocks, racing is must-see. If you haven't been to Genesee, you are missing out on the wide-swept improvements to the grounds. So plan your next trip to Batavia before the checkered flag falls on the season.
Whether you're providing power to your outdoor equipment, going on a vacation or camping trip, or ensuring your peace of mind with home standby backup power, there's no limit to the benefits of owning a Champion generator. Use a portable generator or inverter to power your lights and all your major appliances, or use a home standby generator to power your entire home during an outage. The Champion Power Equipment family of generators. Portability, power, and peace of mind.
Fair night at the Genesee Speedway is now over, and Jason Jenko put on a show in an absolutely dominating performance in tonight's 25-lap Rush late model feature. Jenko led every second of the event and only had to survive one restart to claim the manufacturer's night special. Our Paul Small is ready to catch up with tonight's winner, Jason Jenko.
I think Jason Jenko is really starting to like this place. 2 Rush Crate Late Model Series races here, and for you, 2 wins now.
Yeah, this is it's a driver's track. I feel like it gets a little top dominant, but like I said, if you can make your car maneuverable. I mean, I was going through in and out traffic, and we made it maneuverable enough so we can do what we need to do to pass cars, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Were you worried at all about the caution?
No, it helped me. I rather get away. When you're going through lap cars, you got to worry about everybody else except for yourself. When you start all over like that with 4 to go, all I got to worry about is what I got to do. So you don't have to worry about what somebody's going to do or not do. So yeah, no, I rather have the caution like that.
I think there's going to be a big party for Mr. Jenko and company tonight after winning this one.
Interesting how he said it, Doug. That one caution comes out, and he said he would rather give up that huge lead and have clear track in front of him.
Yeah, I get that, because here's a guy who's been in traffic for the last 20 laps, so I don't blame him with what he said right there. Guy we were watching early on in this race was John Waters. That's him in the blue, number 11. He was able to get by J.J. Mazer for position number 3 here, and this was just after a few laps later after he moved into the top 5, so he was strong tonight.
And lap traffic really kind of spoke for how this race would go. But after that, caution came out on lap number 21.
4 to go.
4 to go, and John Waters capitalized on being in the same line as the leader. And I like how Rush does that. And I wonder if more tracks and more series should do this and allow the third place driver to get the same lineup. He would get to second, but he had nothing for Jenko, as he would pick up, as Jenko would get the win. Waters is second and down with Paul.
John Waters drives up through the field to finish in second place tonight, and you put that car a couple of times, I think, places where there wasn't room for a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's definitely, you need to make the moves when the doors open, and it got a little hairy there when the lap cars got in there, but it was fun racing. I mean, you had to be up on there. Everybody still runs clean. It was just fun. You know, I had a real good time.
At late caution, did you have enough time maybe to get a run at him?
You know, he was pretty good. I knew Jason, he's good here, so he was going to be tough to beat. I mean, we had a pretty good car to roll the bottom, but them last 4 laps, I mean, I needed the caution maybe to get past Kid Cool there, but, you know, I kind of wore my stuff out getting to him. So at the last couple, I was just kind of hanging on.
John Waters, second place finisher tonight.
Oh, good run for him nonetheless. Going 6th to 2nd with very few cautions, and a guy in Jenko that, you know, it would have been interesting to see where he would have started back in the pack, because I don't know how many he would have been able to pick off, but he probably would have won from anywhere in the top 10 start.
I would have loved to have seen the lap times to kind of get an idea, but Jason was alone for a long time on those deals too. So, and I like what we heard there from our second place finisher. Sometimes you do use your stuff up just trying to get to the leader.
You know, it's crazy. All these drivers in lap traffic, but the top 14 did finish on the lead lap.
Surprising.
And all the starters, all 22 starters, able to finish the feature.
That is also surprising. So pretty clean racing, nice racetrack, beautiful night here at the Genesee County Fair.
And still able to get a 1.7 second margin of victory for Jenko. Third place was Kid Cool, David Pangrazio. He's down with Paul.
They call him Kid Cool. David Pangrazio winds up with the third place finish here tonight at Genesee. Did you have anything for those guys up front?
I don't know if we had anything for Jenko. He was pretty good, but I just am glad to finish here, and after we've been struggling a little bit in the slick, and we're kind of getting hold of it now.
Pretty good battle there, and then Waters was able to get by on that only restart.
Yeah, you know, he's good. He knows what he's got to do to get by us, but I don't know. It feels good to run third to these good guys, and, you know, got a lot more experience on me.
Kid Cool picks up a third place tonight.
Another good run for the driver, the 136.
Sure was.
And we've got some big shows coming up we want to bring to your attention. Thursday, August 16th, Big Block Modifieds.
This is a big show because it has been over 20 years since Modifieds have raced here at Genesee. It's going to be fun to see them back here at this track. A lot of people talking about this one.
The cars you saw in action here tonight will be running 2-day show on September 15th and 16th. The Topless Crate Nationals. We round out the season on October 13th with the Averodi Fall Finale. What a night it was here at Genesee. What a season it was here on Speedway Showcase.